What's up, storytellers and gamers? Welcome to the very first episode of Storyteller's Lounge. I'm here with
your boy Gamebox here.
Yeah, and today, guys, we're just chilling. Welcome to this is Gamebox's idea. We are doing this podcast. Basically, we're gonna be bumping these out, and yeah, I'm super pumped.
Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm feeling a little nervous. First time doing this. I think this is like the first ever time I put my voice out to the world kind of thing. So, what should our first discussion be on the Storyteller's Lounge, Sly?
Well, you know what? Just to get everybody acquainted with who we are and like what we're gonna be doing, we should probably just introduce ourselves and just ease our way in. I don't know.
Alright then. Let's get started, folks.
Alright, so starting with you, Gamebox, basically just tell us about yourself. What got you into storytelling? What inspired you to do YouTube? Just let us know about yourself.
Right. This is gonna be like, I'll start off with Storyfire first since I started off, building myself up to YouTube. I could be stuttering my words here. Apologies if I do, folks. So, it's actually kind of a weird story, you know. It was just one day I was planning some stories that I'd like to put out to the world, and then I realized, hey, I've got a Sonic project here that I need to work on. What if I actually start publishing them? I mean, fanfiction.net was a site I was planning on using, but I realized that the layouts are kind of horrendous. And so I looked at Storyfire and I'm like, hey, what if I tried this? So what I did was, this was not planned, just to let everyone know. This was just on the spot, every dialogue, every action in Sonic Powers, which was the story I first created. Yeah, it was on the spot. That was literally it. And then I actually, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually one of my favorites because it started the journey of Gamebox.
Yeah, it's the first story, you'll always look back fondly at it.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Super important.
And then, actually, the first episode was like really, really interesting. It just, something kept hitting me like, I should keep going with this. This could be something that, I don't know how to say it, but it could be something that could actually work for me. So, I'm just deciding, why not I just go through with a story? So I'm like, finding plot points that can make sense in my story. And then 10 episodes, or 9 episodes later, Sonic Powers was released. The first chapter.
Yep, and I can confidently say this. I've actually enjoyed it. Now, he also republished it on Wattpad. So if you guys want to read whatever the heck we're talking about, it's on Storyfire and Wattpad. Well, you know, some of it is, and yeah, I'll have links to both in the description. But yeah, I've actually been enjoying Sonic Powers. Like, as a harmless fan fiction, it's actually really, really good.
Yeah, apparently what I wanted to do is, I wanted to keep it away from, like, just your normal fan fiction stories, and I wanted to, like, branch out into, like, what actual storytellers can actually tell, you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you want me to start rambling on about myself, or you have anything else to say?
Don't really have anything much to say, so, you go ahead, man.
Alright, hey everyone, you guys might know me as the Sly and Sonic fan, so my storytelling journey is actually a pretty boring and predictable one, but yeah, growing up, I've always really liked stories more than the typical kid. I've always been super immersed into them. Around third grade, I started making like makeshift horror comics. I guess that was like technically kind of like the first storytelling I've ever done. Fifth grade, I started writing like actual makeshift books. They're horrendous. I mean, because it was written by a fifth grader. But yeah, that was a trend that continued all the way to sixth grade until eventually eighth grade. I realized I actually wanted to start putting my work out, but I didn't have anywhere to do it. I would usually write stuff on Microsoft Word, have no one to send it to, no one interested in it. And then I found Storyfire by coincidence because I actually downloaded it to watch Mid-Juggernaut Gets My Virtual Escape series, if any of you are familiar with that. And I realized that it was actual writing app. This was exactly what I needed. So I got quickly to grinding. And over time, I've gotten better. I also transferred over to Wattpad. And because of Storyfire, I met some of the people you'll see appearing on this podcast. I met Gamebox because of it. And yeah, it was just a pretty cool journey. So that's basically how I'm here now, like storytelling wise.
It's a fun journey, man. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah,
fun
100%.
journeys. And now the question that I'm pretty sure your fans and everyone else wants to know: how did Gamebox and the Sly and Sonic fan meet? The big question.
Well, I hope you guys are ready for this super epic, long, adventurous tale.
I'm ready for it.
I read Gamebox's story, and I liked it.
Pretty much the whole story of how the Sly and Sonic fan came across Gamebox. So, what I remember it from my point of view was I was basically just on Storyfire until I get a notification. I'll be using his I'll just say Sly. I'll just say Sly's name. Sly. I got a notification saying Sly liked my story, and there was a comment on that story, and I can't remember how it played, but it I think it was like. I could be wrong, correct me if I'm saying this, but I think it was something along the lines like, and I quote, I had never seen something that captured the heart and spirit of the Sonic franchise. Am I right saying that? I could be wrong.
Yeah, it was something along those lines, I remember.
Mm-hmm. And then, I can't remember what it was, but I do remember, like, there was, it came to the point where we were, like, messaging each other a lot on Storyfire, and then an idea hit, like, hey, why don't we both join forces and make a story?
That's exactly what we did. Yeah, from my point of view, it was pretty like standard. What I do on Storyfire a lot is I love reading fan fictions. Like I love seeing people's like different takes and like what they do with like a certain already fleshed out narrative. So I will search like Avatar or Call of Duty to see if I can see any like Avatar or Call of Duty fan fictions. And one day I typed in Sonic because I love Sonic, and sure enough, Sonic Powers came up. And I actually did mean what I said in the comments because I could already tell, because I ended up being right in the end, but I could already tell you were a fan of Sonic because of like how well it's just basically the first episode. It was just pretty charming, right? It was like, all right, these people act like how they're supposed to, but like it has a lot of jokes, like fourth wall breaks. It just seemed like a pretty fun, it seemed like you were pretty passionate about it. You knew a lot about the series, and yeah, I instantly liked it. And then at the time, your name was Drama Films, I remember, and we basically just started realizing that, oh yeah, we could collab and make a Sonic story, and so we made Sonic War Games.
What a development story. Wow. That's all I can say.
We basically...
Sorry man, I'll let you continue.
Oh, no. All I was going to say is we basically, I think it was 3 days or 2 days that, we basically... Because we were planning a lot longer before that, but, it took us, a few days to write it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. All I can say was that the characters we made and the story that we put together... I'm not going to lie, it's pretty much one of my favorite Sonic stories I have ever put out. I mean, it's kind of hard to say whether Sonic powers would be like better. But personally, I loved Sonic War Games so much. It's like I wish I can go back and see it, which I still can. But yeah, just what an amazing story, and the plans we came up with is just, in my personal opinion, spectacular.
Yeah, fun fact, that was the first time I ever, like, wrote a story with someone else who also, like, had a passion for story. I wrote a story with people before, but, you know, they weren't, like, committed or anything like that. They were just doing it for fun. But, yeah, that was the first time I actually, like, wrote a story of another person who wanted to be a storyteller, and it was a pretty cool experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I think we, spoiler alert for some of you Storyfire people out there, but, I think Sly's gonna kill me when I say this, but screw it. We're actually planning for a sequel and a spin-off. Like, I've got Sonic War Games 2 in mind, and the spin-off we're going to work on, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we couldn't get back onto it. The spin-off we were working on was Shadow.
Yeah, dude. I'm pretty sure everything in the world didn't want us working on that story, because, like, after we, like, were working on the first scene, my phone broke, and then, like, I had to, like, move, and it was, like, just a lot of stuff happening at that time, so I literally had no time to start writing. Like, I physically couldn't.
Yeah, that's understandable, man. Thing is, I'm an understanding person, and the thing is like, if there's problems to be dealt with, I won't get in your way, I won't get in anyone's way. It's like, again, if you've got serious topics in the way, I will not get in your way of solving those problems.
Yeah. But yeah, so Gamebox. I wanna know, because I don't think I've asked you this, like, this one question before, so I'm actually interested.
Go for it, man.
What got you inspired to officially start YouTube? Because depending on whatever channel this is, this may not even be on Gamebox's channel, or it could be, who knows, but he did upload his first video today, and yeah, it's like a short little teaser to get you, like, psyched up for, like, whatever content he's making. So yeah, he just started his YouTube journey. He's about to start making content, and I want to know what led him to it.
Right. I don't know how long this will be, but so sit down.
Take your time, man. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. Once again, take a seat, grab a drink and popcorn, and let Mr. Gamebox tell you the story. So, I pretty much can say this in the future, but I'll just say it now. Originally, I wasn't meant to be this creepy person as presented in the thumbnail. That wasn't the original plan. I was actually meant to be a bit more friendlier, like a more joyful Gamebox, you know, pretty much like my character still was meant to be a me instead of a Tim Burton character, but it just didn't really fit with what I wanted to go for. And to answer Sly's question, what got me into YouTube? Pretty much like videos with that review films, just these people who have passion for films. They want to see films, how do I say this? They want to see them get better. When they rant about films, I can tell that they're doing it from the heart. It's like, they care about this, personally. And the idea of using character stills is just amazing, and it's like, I want to do something like that, but I want to make myself stand out from the rest. So instead of just becoming this video game character, I decided to just go, why don't I do something that I had for memories? Like, I'm a massive fan of Tim Burton movies, and the atmosphere and everything he does with pretty much every film he does, even the terrible ones. It's just inspiring, and the way he communicates to his audience, I love it. And I'm just sitting there. Why not make my character like a Tim Burton character. So I was fiddling around with some drawings, and then when I actually found the design I'm looking for, I went, this is the character I'm looking for. And to be honest, I love it.
It actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that's
about you?
I'm just gonna let everyone know that's a way more interesting, like, backstory than my OC. Basically, I asked Gamebox if he could make me an OC, and he was kind enough to like say, "Oh yeah, man, of course. What design would you want?" And I was like, "I like Sonic," and so he just basically made me this. But yeah, it looks really awesome, by the way. But yeah. So what was the question you were asking?
No, I was just about to ask you, what about you? What got you into YouTube, and yeah.
Okay, so, you know, being a 2000s kid, you know, computer, internet, that was all starting to, like, become mainstream, a thing, and, my earliest experiences on YouTube were literally just, like, watching typical, like, no commentary walkthrough videos on the internet. And I was very on YouTube, or like watching movie clips or like free episodes of Transformers animated. Like I didn't really use YouTube to watch a lot. I didn't know about any content creators or anything. I just like, and then this continued all the way until I got my first real phone, which was in 2013, 2014. And so I continued watching no commentary YouTubers until I started getting interested in like commentary YouTubers, people who would like talk while you were recording a game. And at the time, I thought that concept of talking to all of these people while you're having fun playing games, because that was back then when I discovered that there was an entire gaming community. Like me being the arrogant, egotistical kid that I was, thought that like I was the only kid who stood out, who played video games a lot. But then when I figured out that there was actually a term for that called gamer, and there was like a lot of gamers, I was like, oh, I'm not special. But yeah, so I decided one day in 2014, I was still in 5th grade at the time, I was very young. I was like, I want to do that. I want to start a YouTube channel. So my first video was me doing a horrendous speedrun on Sonic Adventure, like at one of the stages, and basically I just continued recording with my very garbage Android camera, and like I would record my Xbox screen until I would get my PS4 in like 2016. Then I could actually have like built-in game footage. I was still horrendous at editing. But most of the time the audio mixing was awful, and I don't think I started making any content worth watching until 2020. I think 2020 is when my content started getting bearable to watch. Like someone could watch this. But yeah, I still have a lot to learn. I'm still improving. But yeah, that's basically where I am content-wise. And I'm pretty sure I have over like 2,000 videos now. I just haven't stopped over these years. I've just been motivated and just super passionate about this. And yeah, that's basically where I am now.
I just want to say something. This is actually like kind of funny. It's like back on his what was it, 30K special. I think Sly noticed, said in the one of the live streams he did, it was like, I didn't know about that, but the thing is, I actually told him that, and he was like, oh, I never knew that. Okay.
I never knew what?
It was like, when I congratulated you on 30K.
Oh, yeah, no, he sent me a message on Discord saying, oh, yeah, congratulations, 30K, man. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even realize, because I'm so out of touch with my subscriber count, because I don't really pay too much attention to it. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I guess I'll do a live stream on this, and that's what I did.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So the next thing that we'd like to talk about is, what stories do we tell? A good one. My favorite.
Yeah, I'll let you have the honors. Go ahead and go first.
Well, the stories I like to tell is pretty much a mixture between original and... I hate using the term fanfiction, but I'll just use it just for the purposes of this podcast. the thing is, I like to create stories. I like to create new worlds. I like to go back to the worlds that have been created, and I like to add a little bit of my own touches to them. Like, as we discussed earlier today, Sonic Powers was one of the stories I created, and then I moved on to an original story called Let the Fury Begin, which was a story of professional wrestling. And for those of you who do not know, don't think Sly knows this, I'm pretty much a pro wrestling fan. And if I'm being honest, I'm fine with the story. I'm not going to say I hated it nor liked it. It's just, I'm in the middle of it. It's like, it's pretty much a meh story. But I like to branch out more into original stories, because I've only uploaded one series, which was, of course, Let the Fury Begin, and I have actually started writing a superhero series called Fireheart, which is available now on Wattpad. It will be in the link in the description below.
Yeah, baby.
So what about you, the Sly and Sonic fan? What stories do you tell?
Stories I tell. One word. Action. Action. Okay, maybe I'm going overboard, but yeah. So the stories that I should probably start with the stories that I like reading. Stories that I like reading tend to question my fundamental ideas on life and just overall and immerse me in this super over the top world where all this you basically don't know what's gonna happen next, and I don't know. I just like very crazy adventure stories. Adventure is probably my favorite genre, and so becoming a writer. One thing I want to do is, because this is probably a hot take, but I love over the top. I love anything that's over the top, because something that isn't restricted and just beats itself and has its own identity and just goes for it. I love that. And so most of the stuff I write is admittedly just fan fiction. It's basically taking something that already exists, like Sonic or Batman, and just making my own version of it, or making my own story with it. And so, yeah, the reason I do that is because I want to save some of my original ideas for when I actually become a professional writer, because I am going to go for that one day. But, yeah, I'm saving all my original ideas, when I become, professional. But for now, I'm practicing and slowly honing my skills by doing fan fiction. I still have a lot to learn, a lot. I know I said that with YouTube, but it's true. I'm not being modest. I still have a lot to learn. I'm still an amateur. But I'm gradually getting better compared to 2018. My writing looks like Shakespeare. So yeah, I'm just slowly getting better until I can make this a profession of mine. And so yeah, right now I'm working on both a Sonic series and a Resident Evil fan series. The Sonic's obviously a fan series as well. The Blue Blur and Resident Evil Survivors, they're both available on Storyteller and Wattpad. They're probably in the link somewhere. So yeah, that's mainly the stuff I'm working on right now. And sorry if they suck. Sorry if you don't like them. But if you do like them and they subvert your expectations, that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's basically what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you on, well, not agree, but I'd have to relate to you on the part where you say that you've got a lot to learn. Hell, I've got a lot more to learn when it comes to, writing these stories, because it's I want to, again, well, I don't want to become a professional writer when for my future, but when it comes to now, it's I want to learn more about how you can actually get a perfectly written story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I completely get you.
But I think the main goals I go for is entertain, inspire, and relate. That's the three words I go by, or the three words that I try to go by eventually. But yeah, that's just what I intend to do for my stories. I want stories to relate to people. I want to entertain people. I want to inspire people as well.
Yeah, Gamebox is probably definitely going to come out as the more mature writer, because I am not as wise. My stuff is purely just to entertain because it. I will gladly admit it is some of my stuff is it's stupid. It's completely stupid, but it's kind of intentional that way because I just like going balls to the walls like all out. Like not too insane. Like but the way I'm describing it, you're thinking it's gonna be like Borderlands or something. No. It's tamed, but yeah. Basically the main word I try to avoid when it comes to creating something is formulaic. I am not a huge fan of formulaic things, and yeah, I just try not to be formulaic or too basic, predictable. Just have something that, is different.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you on that one. I don't really get a lot of these in my stories, but like, you do get a lot of people saying, like, oh, criticism bad, criticism this. I have actually never received criticisms for any of my stories, but the thing is, if there were criticisms to be made, it's like, give them to me, because, like, I want to learn more, I want to improve as a writer in Wattpad and Storyfire, whichever ones, I just want to improve.
Yeah, no, the thing about the Wattpad and Storyfire community is it's composed of a lot of other people who are literally just too nice to criticize the stuff. Like, they are too generous, too polite, and I'm like, no, guys, it's okay if it sucks. Just tell me what's wrong. But they're like, no, it's good. This is like, they'll say like, oh man, this is such a great story. It's so gripping. Then I look back on it 2 years later, and I'm like, oh. Well, what story were they reading? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Criticism is definitely welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. So the next thing that everyone wants to know. Of course, this is pretty much going to be an out-of-nowhere question, but I'm just going to go with it. What's our favorite genre of movies? Basically, or what? Or... But actually, better. What's our favorite films? Some people may want to know
that. You want to go first?
No, I'll let you go first, man.
Okay. Favorite films. I'm pretty sure I've told GameOx and King this. You guys don't know who King is yet, but yeah. My favorite films shift constantly, and basically I've had them change a lot. My favorite style of film is just something that has a lot of heart to it, something that has a lot of passion and like underlining themes to it. Like a film that this is a perfect example of what I love in a movie. Something that on the outside, just like, taking on the surface is entertaining enough, but then when you peel back the layers and look in it, it does so much that it's actually saying. A great example of this is Spider-Man 2, everyone's favorite, right? Watching Spider-Man 2 on the surface is a cool story of how Peter, basically tackles on his personal issues and like takes on the Spider-Man mantle again. But then there's so much layers to it and so much stuff going on behind the scenes and like such genius like writing in it. And like you can only get that after multiple rewatches and seeing other people's takes on it. And same thing with a movie like Joker. Like a movie like Joker is like it seems like very simple and on the nose on your first viewing, but then you see that ending and then you think to yourself, and it's like it's just so much more complicated than that. I like something that's intriguing on the outside, but then super complex and fun on the inside. That's probably my favorite type of film. So yeah, like I just said, my favorite films off the bat, my two favorite are Joker 2019 and Spider-Man 2, because I grew up with Spider-Man 2. I obviously have a personal bias. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is like up there, but yeah, that's basically my three favorites.
Right. Now, for me, like my favorite style would have to be like the same as Sly, because I like it when filmmakers have passion and the drive. But there is another thing that filmmakers have that I really, really love, and that is creativity. I love that word. I love everything that filmmakers do. Take Tim Burton, for example. The set designs, the stories, everything that this guy tells, it's creative. Like, as I'll say for my favorite film, Batman Returns, and it's one of the best Batman films. And if anyone chooses another film, you're wrong. You're wrong, and you'll always be wrong. But the reason why I picked that film is not because like it's dark or gritty or anything like that. The reason why I picked it's because the studio Warner Brothers actually let Tim Burton have freedom of this film. Like, no one can touch this film. This was Tim Burton's film, and again, no one can lay a finger on it. And I love how Tim Burton took the characters of Batman, Catwoman, Penguin, every character, and just made me love them. Like, I know Penguin is the villain, but he was one of the best parts of the movie.
100% agree.
Another film I would say shows a lot of creativity would definitely be The Exorcist, one of my favorite horror films to this day. Like, I can understand people wanting to use blood in their movies because, you know, blood in a film equals horror movie, scary, been done to death before, personally for me. You don't need blood to be scary, you just need something, like, you need a spark, something that creeps you out kind of thing. And I feel like The Exorcist delivered perfectly. Like, hell, when the film came out in cinemas, people were walking out of that theater. People were walking out, they were in tears, they were fainting, it was madness.
Yeah, they actually had vomit, like, they gave everybody vomit bags, and I don't know if they were outside the theater room or if they were inside, but yeah, people would they had a problem because everybody would always run out of the screening vomiting, so like they had to like have vomit bags at standby. That's like one of the interesting facts about that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. This isn't really a film, but another, well, I'll just say it, a company that actually likes to take creativity to the next level is, of course, Pixar. And I don't know, but from the moment like Pixar stepped into my life, it's just been amazing. Like, the stories they tell, the characters they introduce, it's phenomenal.
My homies love Pixar.
Yep, and if there's a and if you don't like Pixar, I'll find where you live and I'll do something inappropriate.
Hey man, if you're Illumination gang, you gotta step off our turf. We don't welcome any Illumination gangers. We're all Pixar.
That's right. We don't support no minion loving people in our podcast. So if you like Minions, that's fine. But if you I'll repeat this. If you like Minions, you have no right to do so, and you have no opinion. End of story.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, in all honesty, like, in all seriousness, Illumination's an alright animation studio, but I just don't get how you can't make a good Grinch movie. Like, did you see the Grinch movie they made? It was so bland, so dry, so passionless. It was just so boring.
Yeah.
It looked beautiful though. It had great animation.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Grinch, but I don't really have plans to do so, because looking at the trailers, it's like, it's not my cup of tea. That's all I can say. Not my cup of tea.
It's pretty by the books and basic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm fine with Illumination. Like, for example, Despicable Me 2 is pretty much my favorite film from that company. But
oh, I love Despicable Me.
I love the first two movies. Haven't seen the third one, but I despise Minions. Like, I'll even link my Letterboxd channel down below. Sorry if I'm stuttering. I'll link my Letterboxd channel down below so you can see my review on it. They're pretty short because I plan on branching out my reviews here on YouTube. So it's like Letterboxd is just a sneak peek. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Ooh.
And now, I think I'd like to call this the main event.
Oh,
so,
baby.
The main event is, and of course, some of the gamers here are wanting to know. We've let storytellers know, but we need to let the gamers know. What's our favorite games?
You need to go first. Because I'll be
Right.
talking for like hours. I'm just kidding, but I'll be on a long man.
Right then. Uncle Gamebox is getting started, folks. Right. So, for those of you who do not know, I am pretty much a guy who's in love with Nintendo, Sonic, or any other games. So if I had to pick a favorite from Nintendo, it would definitely be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Phenomenal game. What they did with E3 back 3 years ago was phenomenal. Everyone is here. Literally the most amazing thing I had ever seen in my life. But outside of Nintendo or Sega, I'll get back to those in a second. I would say Spider-Man PS4 is pretty much my favorite game.
Brother, preach.
Phenomenal
Spider-Man
story.
PS4, baby.
Yeah, phenomenal story. Great characters. Gameplay is amazing. And that soundtrack is, again, phenomenal. Love the soundtrack.
I just love the fact how Spider-Man 2 for the PS2 remained the best Spider-Man game all the way until freaking Insomniac had to step in with Spider-Man PS4. Like, isn't that crazy? How we went an entire generation where like there weren't any better Spider-Man games than that.
That's insane, I'm not gonna lie. Wow. Again, phenomenal work that Insomniac have done. Just, again, spectacular. Back to the Nintendo thing. My favorite games from Nintendo would obviously be Mario 64. Frickin' love that game to bits. And from Sega, I would say Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and definitely Sonic Unleashed. There are flaws in Sonic Unleashed, but the thing is, they're fine. It doesn't bother me. So, what about you, the Sly and Sonic fan? What's your favorite games?
Well, in order to do this justice, I gotta go all the way back to when I was just a tiny Sly and Sonic fan, or in this case, a fan, because I didn't know Sly or Sonic existed.
Grab your popcorns, kids.
But so my dad got me a PlayStation 2 when I was like, I think 5 or 4, I don't know what age I was, and those 3 games that he got me was The Incredibles video game, Cabela's Big Game Hunter, and Sly Cooper and the Devious Raccoonist. And I played Sly Cooper and the Devious Raccoonist, and I hated it. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I had no clue what I was doing. I was jumping off buildings, dying. I basically couldn't play it. So I put that game to collect dust, and I played the heck out of the Incredibles video game until I got bored of that. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll give Sly Cooper another try. I played it, and out of nowhere, I fell in love with it. And I think it took me like a year to beat it because I was that bad at video games, even though it's like a super short 5-hour-long game. But in my defense, my PlayStation 2 didn't have a memory card, so if I exit out of the game, then that was it. I had to replay it. So yeah, I beat Sly 1, got Sly 2 as a surprise. Beat Sly 2, got Sly 3, Sly 4. So yeah, Sly Cooper, the series in general, is easily it's my favorite video game series. I basically grew up with it. Throughout my entire childhood, I played the games. There wasn't one year in my childhood where I didn't play that game. I basically was super in love with it, and I love all the characters, the art design, the soundtrack, the level design. Everything about those games to me is just perfect, and mixed out with the fact that they were really like a huge factor in my childhood. And yeah, no, it was those games like mean the world to me. And so yeah, those are easily my favorite games. Next to that is the Sonic franchise. I played Sonic a little bit when I was little, but it didn't take until Sonic Generations I got it for the 360 where I really got hooked on the series. And plus that was like the year where I also got exposed to the internet, so I looked at all these Sonic fan theories, all these top 10 lists, got a good knowledge of like how the series worked and like what people's general opinions of most of the games were. And Sonic Adventure grew to be my favorite out of the series because it just has the most variety, great soundtrack, great story, very simple. Then right next to that is Sonic Adventure 2. So yeah, that became my second favorite gaming series. And just to quickly wrap this up, I also am a huge Resident Evil fan. And my first Resident Evil game was Operation Raccoon City for the 360, and then later I got a PS4 and I got super into Resident Evil then. And so yeah, I'm basically a Sly Cooper, Sonic, and Resident Evil fanboy. Who knows, maybe if I got into Resident Evil when I got into Sonic, I would be the Sly, Sonic, and Resident Evil fan instead of the Sly and Sonic fan. But yeah, so super into Sly Cooper and Sonic, and I enjoy most Sonic games. I've never played a Sonic game I haven't liked, except for I forgot what it's called, Sonic 3D Blast. I think that's what it's called. That was the only Sonic game that I've played that I'm not a huge fan of, Sonic 3D Blast. But yeah, everything else I've liked. Even though I'm not the biggest cheerleader for Sonic Forces, I think it's enjoyable. And yeah, that's basically my entire rundown of my favorite games.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw his review on Sonic Forces, and I'm not gonna lie, I love that video. Like, my favorite part is not to spoil, but when I'll give you a sneak peek. It's in the comments on his video. I think I put a timestamp on it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, the moment that scene happened, I was just laughing my ass off. It was really, really good.
Thanks, man.
Perfect timing, that's all I can say.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Yeah, that's basically my favorite games. Sly, Cooper, Sonic, and Resident Evil. Nothing can beat those for me. Mortal Kombat came close, but yeah.
True, absolutely.
And so did Call of Duty.
Yeah, another great game. Well, I've only played 1 and 2. Well, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. Well, I cannot speak. Right, I've only played Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 3, but Black Ops 3 is basically the shits for me. I love that game with a burning passion.
A very controversial take. If anyone's like a Call of Duty fan, or just loves Call of Duty, they're gonna be super weirded out by my opinion. Every single Call of Duty game before World War II is a game that I enjoy, at some degree. I really enjoy all of the games, except for World War II was boring, and then everything past that, I just had major issues with. I thought BO4 was passable, but Modern Warfare 2019 was an absolute disaster. Cold War, it's alright, but it's soulless. So, yeah, lately the series hasn't been that great. But I just went off the rails. That's a completely different subject. But yeah.
I don't really have plans to branch out into more Call of Duty games, but I think I'm just gonna stick with Black Ops 3. Sadly, I sold my Xbox 360 because I needed money. But again, in my defense, I had too many things around the house. That's the only defense I can take. I even sold Sonic Unleashed. I'm beating myself up about it, but the thing is, now that I've got PSN now, I can play that game and relive the memories. And Sega, please hire me. I will do anything you want. I'll literally make the world's shittest story. Just please hire me.
The only thing they could hire me is for a writing position, and honestly, I don't even think I'm there yet to handle that responsibility. All these guys will just be in the room, very professional, coming up with these insane ideas, and they'll be like, hey, guys, I got an idea. What if Shadow got a minigun? And then I'd get kicked out. So yeah.
Well, I think that's everything we have to discuss.
Yeah, basically, that's who we are. Some of our past memories. Do we want to go over like what this like podcast will? Do you want to go over the podcast real quick, like what they have to look forward to?
Yes, of course. Before we finish things up, basically what we plan on doing on the Storytellers Lounge is we plan on getting together with other storytellers, getting to know a bit about them, interviews with other storytellers, pretty much just storytelling nerds coming in the podcast, speaking about random shit and just having fun.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first episode of the Storytellers Lounge.
Woo! Alright, guys. So yeah, that was the lounge. We're super pumped to do this. I know I had fun. Gamebox had fun from the sound of it, and yeah, basically just look forward to this because we're definitely gonna have more episodes. But yeah, before we close the book, or we could say before we end the game, we would like to thank everyone for joining us today. Never stop gaming nor creating. Gamebox, any final words?
The only thing I can say is thank you all so much for listening to our very first podcast. And one more thing I would like to say, and for those of you who are new to the Gamebox channel, enjoy your stay.
Oh, alrighty, you guys heard it. Check out Gamebox's channel. Unless you're watching on his, check out my channel if you won't. Unless you're watching this on mine. But yeah, peace out, everyone.